Another alleged altercation with the financial secretary making news as the head of the teachers union recalls an alleged recent encounter. Our News Live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. The leadership race for the Free National Movement heating up just hours away from the much-anticipated national convention. Tonight, Michael Pintard, who shares his leadership team, faced pushback when he was elected. Still, he says he believes his team will be successful. Berthany McDermott has the story.
Amid a clear divide within the Free National Movement, Party leader Michael Pintard reveals that his leadership was never fully accepted by former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis. While appearing as a guest on The Record with host Jerome Sawyer Thursday, Pintard admitted the lack of support was not unexpected.
It was fully expected. Again, my view was that if you lose an election in a catastrophic manner, you ought to have a level of humility and not say to your organization, I intend to lead you into convention. You should come and ask for permission to do so, or tender your resignation and let them refuse it.
Dr. Minnis led the FNM to a devastating defeat in the 2021 general election, losing the party leadership to Pintard shortly after. Since then, Pintard has faced ongoing speculation that a faction within the party continues to support Dr. Minnis.
And the same way I submitted to the former leader's authority when he was in charge and didn't broadside him, backstab him, I expect no less from him or any other.
Now all roads lead to Saturday, where FNMs nationwide will have their say on who will lead the party into the next general election.
I believe that our administration is going to be successful in large measure because in the past 2.5 years, the country sees in its leader, its deputy leader, its chairman, persons who wish to govern for all Bahamians. The reputation that I've developed in Grand Bahama in general, Marco City in particular, is that while we will seek to repair injustices done by FNMs who've been at the back of the line, moving them to the front.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks so much for that, Berthany. And obviously, top of the agenda for the Free National Movement is the leadership of the party. A two-man race between current party leader, who we just heard from there, Michael Pintard, and former leader, Dr. Hubert Minnis, with a decision soon to come. Former cabinet minister for the party and seasoned politician Javargo Lang weighing in, saying while he's not active in the party and does not have a stake in the race, he supports healthy democracy.
Interesting times for the Free National Movement. Part of it's democracy. It's a democratic process. You know, people ought to have the right to vie for leadership in the party, and so there's obviously a dynamic process at work there, and so it'd be interesting to see what the outcome is. I'm out of the business of supporting leaders in this way, one way or the other. I work at the Government and Public Policy Institute. That's my focus.
And a criticism raised by the Minnis camp was that of a one-day convention. The camp saying it's not adequate time to display all the party has done or time enough to discuss future plans on the way forward. Lang says it's not the first time it's happened, adding that it all depends on the party's goal for the convention.
It certainly isn't unusual for the Free National Movement. So in its history, it has had one-day conventions and had them expressly for electing officers. So there's nothing new about it. And the question is, what work do you want to do? If you want to do the work of electing officers, can you do that in a day? You can do it in a day. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. Maybe the under Dr. Minnis himself, I think maybe was a 1 or 2 day convention, and so it's not unusual.
All right, and you can watch live coverage of the Free National Movement's National Convention from the Bahamas Convention Center right here on RTV, channel 212, beginning tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Well, a 39-year-old woman is dead tonight after police say she nearly drowned at a beach in Williamstown in Grand Bahama yesterday. Police telling Our News they got the call just before 6 p.m. and were told a woman was unresponsive after swimming at the beach. Family members reportedly retrieved the woman from the water and performed CPR. Police say she gained consciousness for a moment, but was transported to hospital a short time later, where she died. Investigations are said to be ongoing. The Integrated Coastal Zone Management Technical Advisory, funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, doubling down on its commitment to use traditional and nature-based solutions to build coastal resilience at several sites throughout the country. This as the Davis administration focused on climate change and its blueprint for change before coming to office. On Friday, the committee shared updates on the program as well as gathered feedback from members on aspects of the draft Bahamas roadmap to a resilient ICZM enabling framework. Assistant Environmental and Safety Specialist in the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, Alexio Brown, has the specifics.
Just some updates for Jungle Beach Long Wharf. So essentially this part of the program is we split it into, or we categorize it into two portions. So one is the breakwater repairs. So this is the repairs of the western breakwater and the eastern breakwater. And then we also have the near shore works along with the drainage works. So here the baseline studies are complete. So for this whole study site, the baseline studies are complete as of May of this year.
And the project is expected to start next year. And while New Providence is the focus, Grand Bahama will not be left out. All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Gideon, and a happy Friday evening, everybody. What a way to end the week. It was a hot week and temperatures are still on the warm side. We are 85 degrees outside our studios and mostly clear skies. Winds are picking up north-northeast, so they're going to shave a little bit off the temperature, but the feels like temperature is still in the mid-90s. 95 is what it feels like on the outdoors. Temperatures right now across the islands, it's 85 in Freeport, 82 in Marsh Abaco. We pick up 85s again in Great Harbor Key, Nicholstown, Andros, and in the capital. Alistown, Bimini, 84, 83 over in Governor's Harbor. Central Bahamas, 85, Kemps Bay, 83, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Cubantown, San Salvador, 86, and into Georgetown and Deadman's Key, you guys are 82. And in the Southeast Bahamas, 83 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, and in Abrahams Bay, and you guys in Abrahams Bay seeing some showers and isolated thunderstorms nearby. Delectable Bay, 82, pair of 84s in Matthewtown, Inagua, as well as in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Satellite and radar composite showing quiet conditions across the area. We have a very weak frontal boundary that's dropping into the Bahamas. Some isolated showers associated with that boundary, but that boundary will continue to wash out. High pressure is building in behind that and it is strengthening, so we're looking at some breezy conditions, looking at windy conditions tomorrow. Winds will get up to the cautionary level for most of the island chain. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Thanks, Greg. And still to come on our news, a cable outage on Eleuthera now under investigation. Cable Bahamas says it suspects sabotage as repairs underway. But first, former Cabinet Minister Loftus Roker laid to rest after a state funeral in the capital. The story when our news returns. Views this breathtaking deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
Hey, it's Charlie Bahama, and you gotta stay tuned this week where we have the three amazing Bahamian police chiefs. And here we have Chief Moss. He's got a lot to say. You're like, the police chief of Miami Beach, like the city everybody in the world knows and wants to be a part of.
I tell people this is the coolest city in the world. The only city that comes actually close being as close as Miami Beach is Nassau.
Right now we are here with Chief Adderley in West Palm Beach, so you know this show is gonna be hot. Charlie Bahama, you wanna catch it this week. Charlie Bahama Show.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought Season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for Season 2. more amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stax be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
Family, friends, current and former politicians and colleagues all gathering at Christ Church Cathedral to bid farewell to former Cabinet Minister A. Loftus Roker. Tributes poured in as everyone reminisced on his commitment to country, family, and his home, Acklands. Prime Minister Philip Davis reflected on his journey, saying he always chose to be integral.
When he spoke, we listened, we paused, and we often re-evaluated our approaches. Beyond his public roles, Mr. Roker was a guardian of our historical integrity and a protector of many insightful political secrets, some of which, no doubt, he took to his grave. His candor was legendary. It was his trademark and his gift to us. He never shied away from telling the truth, however uncomfortable it might be.
Roker was born August 25, 1935 in Delectable Bay, Acklands. He, along with 14 others, signed the nation's independence constitutional order in December 1972. Roker also served in cabinet under the former Pinling administration. He died at the age of 88. In his homily, Archdeacon Keith Cartwright spoke to Roker's faithfulness.
He was generous to a fault for his church. He loved his church, and he was proud of his church. Loftus was a faithful and dutiful husband. He adored Ruby, and we would spend hours upon hours talking about her and his brother and his dear sister.
And may his soul rest in peace. Cable Bahamas says it is urgently addressing a major service disruption in Eleuthera from Glass Window Bridge southward, suspected to be an act of sabotage. Local law enforcement is said to be investigating as technical teams and specialists are on the ground working to restore service swiftly. In a statement, the cable service provider apologized for the inconvenience and assured customers that every effort is being made to restore reliable communications promptly. You can read the full statement at the Our News Bahamas Facebook page. When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as former U.S. President Donald Trump vows to appeal his historic conviction. Plus, thousands of refugees in Haiti hope to return home. And the hiker who survives a 400-foot canyon fall with minor injuries when Our News returns. Water this clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
Hey, it's Charlie Bahama, and you gotta stay tuned this week where we have the 3 amazing Bahamian police chiefs. And here we have Chief Moss. He's got a lot to say. You're like, the police chief of Miami Beach, like the city everybody in the world knows and wants to be a part of.
I tell people this is the coolest city in the world. The only city that comes actually close being as cool as Miami Beach is Nassau.
Right, now we are here with Chief Adderley in West Palm Beach, so you know this show is gonna be hot. Charlie Bahama, you wanna catch it this week. Charlie Bahama Show.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Donald Trump confirmed he'll appeal his New York conviction, claiming political bias and a rigged trial. Convicted on 34 counts of falsifying business records, Trump remains eligible to run for president. His campaign raised $35 million following the verdict. Sentencing is set for July 11th, with legal experts predicting a fine over prison time.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here.
About 3,000 people displaced by violence are seeking refuge near the U.S. Embassy in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Reuters reports that 744 families are now living in a former school. Despite the conditions, some residents say they are striving for normalcy and privacy in the camp and hope for peace to reclaim their neighborhoods. And a Washington state teenager miraculously survived a 400-foot fall down a canyon with minimal injuries. Rescued using a harness off the high steel bridge, the 19-year-old was hiking when he tumbled down a steep washout. Authorities emphasize the area's dangers, urging people to heed warning signs. The teen, whose identity is undisclosed, is said to be recovering in hospital. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was May 31st. Then in our news at 7:30, we'll tell you the nearly 3,000 cruise ship passengers who descended on Grand Bahama this week. Plus, why a shark expert says if you see a shark while on a jet ski, leave it alone. The story when our news returns. Water this clear, people this friendly, views this breathtaking deserve a close-up on our TV screens. Industrious by nature, the people that call this untouched Bahamian landscape home can't wait to show it off. Come go with us to one of the most uniquely Bahamian destinations, Crooked Island. It may be far-flung, but this journey will bring them closer to home. Our News to the Islands presents the true essence of Crooked Island, a week of down-home conversations and adventures. And you deserve to see it all.
Hey, it's Charlie Bahama, and you gotta stay tuned this week where we have the 3 amazing Bahamian police chiefs. And here we have Chief Moss. He's got a lot to say. You're like, the police chief of Miami Beach, like the city everybody in the world knows and wants to be a part of.
I tell people this is the coolest city in the world. The only city that comes actually close being as cool as Miami Beach is Nassau.
Right now we are here with Chief Adderley in West Palm Beach, so you know this show is gonna be hot. Charlie Bahama, you wanna catch it this week. Charlie Bahama Show.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
So you said you're here for Sully's funeral? How do you know Sully?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not.
Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way.
Welcome back to Our News. It's time now to turn our spotlight on events that shaped the day that was May 31st. Take a look. On this day in Bahamian history in 2012, police were on the search for robbers who held up Scotiabank in Stella Maris, Long Island, and First Caribbean in New Providence. Police say robbers made away with thousands of dollars, but were able to arrest 2 men in connection with both robberies. Then Assistant Commissioner Anthony Ferguson telling reporters that police were still on the hunt for 3 other suspects.
We are confident that we know who they are. It's only a matter of time, and we expect sometime today they ought to be in custody.
2021 saw the appointments of 3 new Supreme Court justices. Taking the oath, Juanita Denise Lewis Johnson, Janine Weish Gomez, and Andrew Forbes. In 2021, British Airways resumed direct flights from the United Kingdom to the Bahamas after suspending the service in March 2020 due to the global COVID-19 pandemic. May 31st, 2022, the Disaster Reconstruction Authority announced it was investigating reports that some of the domes in Spring City, Abaco were being used as brothels. And finally, on this day in 2022, Our News reported on University of the Bahamas multi-event specialist Kendrick Thompson, who broke the national record in the decathlon in Jacksonville, Florida. Well, the old carnival grounds set to come alive tomorrow beginning at noon as the National Sports Authority expected to host their signature event and International Palates Food Fest. Under the theme One Big Melting Pot, the Food Fest is set to feature food, of course, games, and entertainment. Participating countries including Trinidad and Tobago, Peru, Haiti, Greece, Jamaica, Mexico, the Bahamas, and others. There will also be 2 Junkanoo rush outs, one set to begin at 5 p.m. and the other at 10. We spoke with NSA's Nairoka Smith and Melissa Allen Maynard, who shared more about what people can expect and how funds raised will go back into the community. And we also learned about 2 companies that will be featured at the Food Fest, Classy Chefs Catering and Pompey Medical.
You're going to have conch cakes, which is one of my signature dishes, which is going to be served with a red onion thyme jam. I also have crab stuffed mushrooms. I have beef, chicken, and shrimp kebabs, but they're going to be paired with tamarind sauces, mango mojo, citrus sauce, guava barbecue. And then I have lobster mac and cheese, shrimp, sheep tongue taco.
It's important for Pompey Medical to participate in the event for tomorrow because we want to make sure that we put a footing in the community so that we can spread the word about preventative health care and quality health care in the community.
All right, that menu sounds really good, so be sure and check it out. Well, Our News to the Island series on Cricket Island is winding down, but not before we get to Pittstown. But on the way, we stopped in Landrail Point, where we learned about more choices for accommodation. Earlier in the series, we introduced you to David and Barbara Ferguson's Nature's Delight in Colonel Hill, but tonight we spotlight another warm host ready to welcome you. We'll also tell you where you can savor some local cuisine.
Casuarina is not enough. Anytime you come here with our hospitality and our friendly Amina, you gotta come back.
Nestled on a breathtaking beach in Landrail Point, Hyleen Moss's Casuarina Villas has been a sanctuary of relaxation for 24 years.
One of a kind, because when you come here, the beach is awesome. The waters is just to die for. And Casarina Villas, which you will stay, is comfortable, and you just enjoy yourself. It's just a way to get away from all your stress and relaxes you.
Eileen takes pride in her lodge, which stands out in its serene setting. And while millions of tourists flock to New Providence every year, Crooked Islanders like Eileen are on a mission to change perception that Nassau is the only destination in the Bahamas.
But not until they find these locations out here in Acklands and Crooked Island, it's just unique. You know, it's the serenity, the tranquility.
As travelers increasingly seek memorable experiences, hospitality remains a top priority for Crooked Islanders like Eileen who rely on tourism.
No matter where you travel in this life, in this world, no matter where you go, when you are treated special, you appreciate that, and you would always love to come back.
And now that you know where to stay, let's talk about where to eat. In Lanreal Point, you won't have to look far.
We enjoy entertaining people from all over the world. That's what we do, doing the home style, Crooked Island home style.
Wilhelmina Gibson is the owner of Gibson's Lunchroom, offering a family-style dining experience with repeat diners year after year, some from as far as Japan. Willie, as she's affectionately known, has made countless friends with her authentic Bahamian menu and warm hospitality.
Fresh fish and fresh vegetables and fresh baked bread.
And if that sounds enticing, Willie and Eileen say they are eager to welcome you on your next visit to Crooked Island.
Because I love people. I love people. I love being around people, love meeting different people.
But Crooked Island is just as different as a fingerprint. You think the other island saying something? You visit Crooked Island. Trust me, it wouldn't be the same.
As our journey across Crooked Island winds down, we've seen firsthand the dedication and warmth of its people. Before we leave, we'll make one final stop in Pittstown, a place rich in history and charm. Are coming. If you want to see that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Marlena Leonard with your latest headlines. Marlena?
Thanks, Ken. Well, we'll tell you all about the thousands of cruise ship passengers on Grand Bahama this week, plus why a shark expert says if you see a shark while you're on a jet ski, leave it alone. Here are your latest headlines. Tonight on Our News, Bahama are buzzing ahead of the F&M convention. Our Megan Shepherd paints the picture inside the convention hall. Plus, the head of the teachers union recounts an alleged altercation with the financial secretary a day after his spat with a reporter. Also, the tourism boom on Grand Bahama after 3,000 visitors descend on the island. And childhood nostalgia. We'll tell you about the $20,000 put toward a revival of Adventure Learning Center when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
On the road. But isn't it time you drive one? Easy Car Sales invites you to experience the smooth, powerful ride and immerse yourself in the luxury and latest tech features. Find out why the Bahamas is going electric. Visit easy242.com and book your test drive now. What are you waiting for? Save money, drive smarter. There's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales.
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. Turning off lights when you leave a room. Unplugging appliances not in use. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as the environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is degrading right in front of my eyes. And being NT's Youth Ambassador for the Environment means that my words and my actions hold the power to help change the environment and the world around me. I find it exciting that I can be a student, live my life, and use my words and my voice to change the environment and the world around me. Most times I think it's a privilege. It's our environment and it's our generation to own. I don't think as a young person that there is anything more rewarding than being a part of bringing awareness. I'm Michaela Kerr, and I'm making a difference in my own words.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app.
Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us. I'm Marlena Leonard. All eyes are on the Free National Movement this weekend as the opposition party prepares for a one-day convention at Bahamas beginning early tomorrow morning. The party entering with a clean slate tonight, and tomorrow will emerge with a slate of elected leaders. Our Megan Shepard is at the Bahamas Convention Center to tell us what we can expect ahead of the convention. Megan?
Thanks so much, Marlena. Well, while it might not look like it inside here, I can assure you that the Bahamas Convention Center is buzzing with excitement and anticipation as the Free National Movement prepares for their one-day convention to be held tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Now, there are 761 eligible delegates. Registration opened this morning for delegates around 2 p.m. and closed just not too long ago at 7 p.m. Registration will reopen tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. until the close of voting. Now, as to who these delegates will be voting for, well, all positions are up for grabs. I can tell you that current Deputy Leader Shannon Don Cartwright will be returned as Deputy Leader, as well as former Senator Dwight Sawyer. He will return unopposed as treasurer. But of course, we know all eyes will be on the leadership race as a former party leader, Dr. Hubert Minnis, will go head-to-head with incumbent leader Michael Pintard. You may recall that Michael Pintard became the leader of the Free National Movement in November of 2021 following the loss at the general election in September of 2021. Now, the outcome of this leadership race will determine who will lead the FNM into the next general election. I can also tell you that it is said to be that the most young people are running for national positions. So it will be interesting to see young people rising to the challenge. And of course, it's all happening here tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the Bahamas Convention Center. And the only thing I can tell you, Marlena, is be sure to stay tuned to the team you already trust. Back to you in studio.
Thanks, Megan. It definitely will be very interesting to watch. And Our News will be following developments from the convention floor. So be sure to stay tuned to Our TV and all of our social media platforms beginning tomorrow at 9 a.m. And for full coverage of the FNM's one-day convention from Bahamas, tune in to Our TV, channel 212, beginning at 8 p.m. And on the heels of the verbal confrontation between Financial Secretary Simon Wilson and Nassau Guardian reporter Yuri Kemp at the Office of the Prime Minister yesterday, Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson is giving her side of an alleged altercation she claims happened between her and Wilson in February. Our Joshua Williams reports.
Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson calling for immediate disciplinary action against Financial Secretary Simon Wilson, a day after a heated confrontation between the top civil servant and Nassau Guardian reporter Yuri Kemp. Wilson confronting Kemp at a press briefing after Kemp asked a question, which Wilson claims called him a liar. The situation then escalating to the point where Economic Affairs Minister Michael Alcides stepped between the two. The union president calling into the Guardian radio show Morning Blend this morning, alleging a similar run-in with the financial secretary after he arrived late to a scheduled meeting.
You're starting a meeting without even giving us an apology. And he outright said, I don't have to give any apology with your stupid self. So I said, well, stupid? That's like water off a duck's back for me.
She then claims Wilson approached her.
He then took off his coat and came around the table until several of the men that were in the room stood up and said, if you touch my president, I will flatten you.
But President Wilson says she wrote a letter to Prime Minister Philip Davis about the incident following the meeting. She's now calling for disciplinary action.
So I'm not surprised of Simon Wilson's attitude and behavior, and I'm also suggesting not only that Simon Wilson be disciplined, but Simon Wilson should be removed because he's brought that position into ill repute. And the other thing is, I'm also just suggesting, because we do it with our members, that he get anger management because it is definitely needed.
We attempted to get a response from Kemp's employers, the Nassau Guardian, who declined to comment. Calls to Simon Wilson were not returned. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
A 55-year-old electrician is behind bars tonight, awaiting sentencing after he was convicted of indecently assaulting a 13-year-old girl. Glenroy Lyons was unanimously convicted of touching the young girl inappropriately on July 10, 2020. However, the same jury acquitted him by a majority of 8-1 of having sex with the teen on the same date. Lyons, who spent over 3 years on remand before getting bail, faces a maximum sentence of 8 years in prison. A sentencing hearing will be held on August 27th. Just a day away from the start of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, the heat was still relentless today. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Marlene, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions around the islands and outside our studios. 85 degrees is our current temperature under mostly clear skies. We'll call it warm. Northeast winds at 50 miles per hour, and they are picking up. Winds expect to get up to the cautionary level tonight, but it's still feeling like a warm 95 degrees on the outside. Satellite radar composite showing mostly clear skies across most of the island chain. We have a weak frontal boundary that dropped into the northwest Bahamas. It's going to continue to push towards the south and east. Most of the activity will be waning, most of it in the open Atlantic. Still some upper level moisture moving across the southeast Bahamas. It's going to continue to generate some cloudy conditions across that area through tonight and into tomorrow. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your weekend forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, Grand Bahama seeing a major influx of visitors this week as the Norwegian Jade called on the Freeport Harbor with nearly 3,000 guests. Plus, a shark dive expert reacts to video of jet ski operators circling a shark in waters off New Providence recently. Find out what he says you should do if you find yourself near a shark while jet skiing. And then, Central Bank launching a new educational campaign to push the use of digital platforms for transactions. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Hey, it's Charlie Bahama, and you gotta stay tuned this week where we have the 3 amazing Bahamian police chiefs. And here we have Chief Moss. He's got a lot to say. You're like, the police chief of Miami Beach, like the city everybody in the world knows and wants to be a part of.
I tell people this is the coolest city in the world. The only city that comes actually close being as cool as Miami Beach is Nassau.
Right, now we are here with Chief Adderley in West Palm Beach, so you know this show is gonna be hot. Charlie Bahama, you wanna catch it this week. Charlie Bahama Show.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stax be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
So you said you're here for Sully's funeral? How do you know Sully?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not.
Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
This is too
Grand Bahama's tourism sector getting a major boost this week. This as the Norwegian Jade called on the Freeport Harbor with nearly 3,000 guests. The cruise ship's visit to the island was part of a cruise around the Bahamas. A plaque exchange ceremony taking place on board between Captain Ingar Jalin, the Ministry of Tourism, Grand Bahama, and Freeport Harbor officials. Captain Jalin shares more details about the megaship.
We have a 4-day cruise going here around the Bahamas and 1,100 crew members on board. So we are a middle-class ship. We are not a big one anymore. No, we are a middle class.
General Manager at the Ministry of Tourism, Nuvalari Chatasingh, says having the Norwegian jade coming to Grand Bahama for the first time is a testament to the work the Ministry of Tourism is doing on the island.
And collaborating with also the Freeport Harbor Company in order to have ships make new calls on this Grand Bahama Island. It represents an increase in the number of persons coming to Grand Bahama by cruise, and I hope we continue to see this trend.
If you see a shark while on a jet ski, leave it alone. That according to a shark dive expert who was reacting to video of jet ski operators circling a shark in waters off New Providence recently. Founder and dive master at Bahamas Dive Guides, Andre Musgrove, is no stranger to sharks, even featured on the Discovery Channel's Shark Week. He says it appeared the jet ski operators may have been intentionally antagonizing what he says appears to be a hammerhead shark in the shallows.
The guys, if anything were to happen where they were to fall overboard, their shark would already be in distress and will also probably already be aggravated in some way because it's trying to survive, so frightened or scared or one of those. So it would be dangerous where if one of the guys were to fall in the water, the shark could potentially, in the franticness of trying to get out or escape, it might be in a self-defense mode where it might bite one of the guys or might attack one of the guys just from a self-defense perspective.
And he offers this advice for those who come across a shark while on a jet ski.
If anybody is ever in this situation, if you see a shark from a jet ski or a boat, the best thing to do is just leave the animal alone and don't follow it. You don't need to follow it at the surface. You don't need to track it down. The safest bet is you observe the animal from the distance and then you leave within a few seconds. That way the animal can go about its business and so can the person.
The central bank is launching a new educational campaign to push the use of digital platforms for transactions. This as several commercial banks have been shuttered in the Family Islands, leaving residents to rely solely on ATMs. Let's take a look. Central Bank, backed by all 7 commercial banks in the Bahamas, now launching the Live Fast Pay Digital educational campaign, aiming to increase the use of electronic transactions. This as banks are moving away from brick-and-mortar establishments on the Family Islands.
Optimizing the use of digital channels to deliver and consume financial services is the most efficient and inclusive way to extend the reach of these services in the Bahamas. It is also the best strategic way to ensure rapid recovery of commerce and the flow of money as we face a future of more frequent and destructive hurricanes.
But they've historically had pushback on this digitization effort, with the central bank saying more than 50% of the population still express serious concerns about the elimination of the paper process and trail. Already, the central bank has pivoted from a goal of check elimination to check reduction, aiming to give businesses time to adapt to the future of digital banking. As for the campaign itself, it hopes to address a number of topics for the general public and the business community.
It will educate the public on the range of digital instruments that are already available locally, and this will include more awareness on the enhancements that have already been made to the automated clearinghouse infrastructure, as well as how the rest of the payments infrastructure is being modernized to better support international commerce. It will also address cybersecurity and anti-fraud, explaining what the safeguards are that are being followed by financial institutions and the regulators to make digital payments secure. And it will emphasize the security-minded practices that all customers should also follow to protect their accounts and transactions.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Coming up in sports, we recap the exciting semifinals of the Samuel P. Haven Jr. National High School Soccer Championships.
A beloved childhood staple from the early 2000s gets thousands of dollars to go toward a highly anticipated revival. We have the details when Our News returns.
Hey, it's Charlie Bahama, and you gotta stay tuned this week where we have the 3 amazing Bahamian police chiefs. And here we have Chief Moss. He's got a lot to say. You're like, the police chief of Miami Beach, like the city everybody in the world knows and wants to be a part of.
I tell people this is the coolest city in the world. The only city that comes actually close being as cool as Miami Beach is Nassau.
Right now we are here with Chief Adderley in West Palm Beach, so you know this show is gonna be hot. Charlie Bahama, you wanna catch it this week. Charlie Bahama Show.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
So you said you're here for Sally's funeral? How do you know Sally?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not.
Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
This is 242 The Gospel, where we say...
This is Our News. Welcome back. The National High School Soccer Championships championship games are set, and a national basketball team assistant coach gets a new post. Here now with Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors, is Ronaldo Dorset and John Marknut. Ronaldo?
Thanks, Marlena, and welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. The semifinals gave us everything we expected, setting the stage for an exciting championship night at the Samuel P. Haven Jr. National High School Soccer Championships. The girls' final will feature the Liferkey International School Lady Dragons against the St. Andrews Hurricanes. John, you've got to choose a side. While the boys' final will feature the Anatole Rogers Timberwolves versus Windsor School. Let's take a look at how these teams got here. In the first girls' semifinal, the Lady Dragons overcame an early deficit to advance with a 2-1 win over the C.R. Walker Knights. Valtanique Simmons scored first for the Knights in the 17th minute, but the Lady Dragons got the equalizer from Jordan Knowles late in the first half and the go-ahead goal from Issa Bornas in the second half. Scoreless at full time, semi-final 2 between the Hurricanes and the Bishop Michael Eldon Warriors went to penalties. A familiar spot for the Hurricanes this season, they came out with a 3-2 win in sudden death after a save from keeper Eliane Higgs and the go-ahead goal from Monica Pelouse. On the boys' side, the T-Wolves continued to be the story of the tournament and won another match in dominant fashion, 6-0 over the Dragons. Mackenzie Cherry was definitely the man of the match with 4 goals to lead Anatole. Jano Bazam and Chad Townsend also added goals for the T-Wolves. On the other side of the bracket, Windsor advanced with a 3-0 win over the visiting Lucaya International School Bucks. Manuel Ruiz scored 2 goals for Windsor and Zadok Smith added a third.
Nishad Mackey continues his progression in the NCAA Division I coaching ranks. Mackey joins the University of South Carolina Upstate Spartans as an assistant coach under first-year head coach Marty Richter. Last season, Mackey worked in player development for the University of Tennessee Martin Skyhawks. UT Martin won its first Ohio Valley Conference regular season championship in his lone season with the program. Following a storied playing career, Mackey joined Embry-Riddle as a graduate assistant for 2 seasons. He then joined the staff of another alma mater, the Dayton State College Falcons. Mackey has been a player and is now an assistant coach with the Bahamas national team under head coach Chris DeMarco.
Blue Chip Athletics will have 2 javelin throwers joining the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Tasha Stubbs is headed to the Big Ten powerhouse alongside teammate Diore Scott. The 16-year-old Queens College student threw 50.94 meters to win gold in Grenada in her Carifta debut. It's Friday, you know how we go into every weekend. Let's get to the top plays. At number 5, time winding down in the second half, Bishop Michael Eldon on the run to win it, St. Andrews Hurricanes keeper Eliane Higgs with the big save.
At number 4, what is top plays without Jazz? He hits another home run.
At number 3, C.R. Walker's Valtanique Simmons doing the equivalent to what AI did to Michael Jordan at the top of the key.
At number 2, Christian Robinson goes deep for his first home run of the season.
And at number 1, it was this kind of day for the T-Wolves. Gino Bazan putting on a masterclass with the shot from distance.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. We hope you checked us out today on the Bahamian citizenship test. You should all know the answer to that one.
It was C.
Still ahead on Our News tonight, the beloved childhood staple Adventure Learning Center closed its doors after the COVID-19 pandemic. Now they're getting a second chance thanks to a local company looking to pay it forward. And we've been feeling the heat all week this week, but what does our weekend look like? Greg is back in the Weather Center with more details right after this quick break when Our News returns.
Hey, it's Charlie Bahama, and you gotta stay tuned this week where we have the 3 amazing Bahamian police chiefs. And here we have Chief Moss. He's got a lot to say. You're like, the police chief of Miami Beach, like the city everybody in the world knows and wants to be a part of.
I tell people this is the coolest city in the world. The only city that comes actually close being as cool as Miami Beach is Nassau.
Right, now we are here with Chief Adderley in West Palm Beach, so you know this show is gonna be hot. Charlie Bahama, you wanna catch it this week. Charlie Bahama Show.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
If you thought season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit number 1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
So you said you're here for Sally's funeral? How do you know Sally?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not.
Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you.
Welcome back to Our News. We've had a week of sunshine and beach days, but can we expect the same this weekend? Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Greg?
Yeah, thanks again, Marlene, and welcome back, everybody, for our final check-up weather. We got some hot temperatures around the islands today. We still have that heat advisory posted for the extreme northern islands, Grand Bahama, Bimini, as well as the Abacos. Some of that heat is now moving into the central Bahamas and the remainder of the northwest Bahamas. But we are going to see some breezy conditions as a front moved into the northwest Bahamas. It's dropping into the central Bahamas as we speak. High pressure is building in behind that, and we're looking for some breezy conditions for the weekend. So we could see some digits shave off the temperature over the next couple of days. The tropics, we are still watching a couple of tropical waves out there. A strong one moving off the African coast. Another one in the central Atlantic, one just approaching the northern coast of the South American area. And then, of course, we have that area in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. That's also associated with the tropical wave, but the wave is now exiting, moving into the Pacific. Of course, some moisture still moving across the Bahamas, so we could see some isolated shower activity across the southeast Bahamas during that time frame. Future forecast showing how things are shaping up. Frontal boundary out there in the open Atlantic, most of the moisture staying to the east of us. Upper level moisture moving across the southeast Bahamas through Saturday, and then of course high pressure builds in behind that, but we will continue to keep some moisture in the open Atlantic just to the east of the Bahamas. Boating conditions for the northwest and central Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. Small craft caution is in effect. Your winds will be northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots, seas running 4 to 6 feet of open waters. Low tide is at 9:32 tonight. The high tide takes place at 3:35 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, an easterly flow at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights will be running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, it's going to be quiet through tomorrow. Breezy conditions, temperatures will be not as warm. We should see some upper 80s to very low 90s. But some of that moisture will stay around, so we're looking for some isolated showers Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday. But temperatures will rebound back for early next week, and we're looking for some 90s by Thursday. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night, and have a safe weekend, everybody.
Thanks, Greg. Well, a local business is making a powerful impact. Struckham Commercial Pest Service has teamed up with the Adventure Learning Center to revive the childhood staple from the early 2000s. Italia Hall tells us how the company's president is paying it forward with passion and purpose.
Gavin Strawn is helping lead a revival of Adventure Learning Center. The president of Struckham Commercial Pest Service has a deep connection to the camp.
I am a young man, relatively, who came here years ago. And upon me completing an inspection there a few weeks ago, I noticed that they had termites, and we just felt the need to assist them and to tent and treat all the structures for termites at no additional cost.
ACL, a Christian-based center and camp, was founded in 1993 by Randy and Kimberly Grabe, but closed its doors after the COVID-19 pandemic. Its mission is to provide children with a hands-on science-based experience to discover God's creation, a goal Strawn says made it easy for his company to stand by with a $20,000 investment. And just what will the work include?
But for this building, like I said, they have drywood termites, right? And what that means, those are termites that live above the ground and have created termite galleries in the wood. So what the team is doing right now is we're covering the building with a tarp, and we're going to release a fumigant called Zythor, right? And that's going to kill all of the drywood termites in the structure. The building is going to be held or covered for 48 hours, and after that, everything is done.
ACL Representative Don Thompson says the camp is grateful for the partnership and will go a long way in helping achieve its $3 million renovation exercise.
Over the next year, it'll be over a year before we're fully operational again and have everything going. So we've got structural engineers, we've got contractors who've donating their time. Like Struckham today is out here today. He's tenting a couple of our buildings. We're killing termites, we're killing mosquitoes, and we're just getting ready for people to enjoy this park again.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Italia Hall.
Thanks for that, Italia. It looks like it's going to be really great. And just a quick programming note, tune in to our TV, channel 212, tomorrow night at 8 for the broadcast of the F&M National Convention live from the Bahamas Resort. You can also catch the special broadcast streaming live on the Our News Bahamas Facebook and YouTube pages. With that, we thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Marlena Leonard. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.